Now, I feel honored to welcome our special guest, Anuradha Das, Director, Partner of Ant-Man Collections, Aparna Karthikeyan, an independent journalist, author, Mrs. Kavita Muralidharan, an accomplished journalist, writer, and renowned translator, onto the stage. Please welcome ma'am. Now, may I request all the three guests to provide the honors, facilitate the honors for our reviewers. Luna, Meena, it's time to hear from our privileged time to hear from our chief guest. First, let me call upon Anuradha Das ma'am, Director, Partner, Ant-Man Collections, at the first stage. Yes, please. Thank you.
Good evening. Can you hear me all? Yes. Good evening. It's been a privilege being here. And Nivedita, her stories. We met in the World Book Fair. So then the journey started. So you already know about Antonin going through this film. But there's something more that I wanted to tell you. It won't be a speech. It's just being with you, which is a privilege for me. And I just wanted to tell you that today's essence, whatever Nivedita has chosen, the books, I think the power of woman, I'll not call it feminism, but I'll just try to look into the power of woman. And we are not biased, we don't have any gender bias while choosing our text. We choose all good texts from various languages. As you've seen, it's global and regional languages.
And tell you about the history of a banana, the people who are involved in the labor of a banana, as Pari Selvaraj's movie Parde.
Anuradha pointed out about the choice of books, about the choice of the speakers. I'm not surprised because Nivedita is handling this, and I'm sure she will always make sure that women are in the front. So I'm very happy to be here where presence of women is not just tokenist but political, and I would say feminist. For me, feminism is as political as any other politics, and it's very important too. So, and I identified myself as a feminist. So, yeah, thank you for having me here.
So on a rainy evening, I'm so happy to see you all here. Many people have traveled from the two ends of the city or the four corners of the city to assemble here. It's almost like the heart of the city. And you, ma'am, have traveled all the way from Calcutta to be here with us. Thank you so much for that. So the chief guest of the day, Aparna and Kavita Muralidharan, Aparna Karthikeyan, Anuradha Das from the Ant-Man Collection, Nivedita Lewis and Validasan from her stories, and audiences, fellow writers, translators and poets. Thank you all for being here.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Amit, for the wonderful introduction. I am going to introduce the book, The Weak Second and Other Stories, written originally in Hindi, translated by three translators, Rituparna Mukherjee, Anuradha Dusar, and Dr. Pritesh Chatterjee.
And poetry, women have always carried their cages, some of gold, some made of silence. Bengali literature has given us a patient woman, a poetic woman, a saintly woman, but Ahana gives us Pari. Her name is Pari.
The story talks about different kinds of people Natada met in his life.
Next, we have an award-winning author, poet, translator from Chennai, known for her dark, women-centric narratives, and magical realism. Welcome, Ms. Luna.
Hello, good evening everyone. Thank you for being here. And now I'm going straight into the topic. So today I'm here to talk about a book which suggests, but I promise you that it's actually not. So the title of the book is The Forest That Ate People. And as soon as I saw this title, I too thought it was a horror story. But then I read the subtitle, which is the other not so scary stories. So this shows, so let me get into the why this contradiction about the title part. So this story is not a horror story, that I can assure you, but it does have some eerie and strange elements that will leave you a little bit unnerved. Something in you will be unnerved by the book, but it's not terrifying or horror. There's no monsters, there's no blood. So this book is written by Harshita Hiya, and this book is a collection anthology of 10 short stories, all of them which are set in Assam. And this being my first book that I've read from about the northeastern parts, it was quite interesting for me, and specifically the mythological part. This book is a very unique concept. For me, as a person who grew up reading fantasies and urban fantasies especially, this book really struck a chord with me because they have folklores, they have Assamese myth, and they have a lot of other things, elements in it which would prove to you that it's actually fantasy, but it's also in the contemporary, current, modern world of Assam, the region. So, which is why I found the book to be more of an urban fantasy, and there are also elements of magical realism in the book. So, I really thoroughly enjoyed reading the book. But to give you an introduction, the way I want to introduce this book in a way that actually resonates with me, because I am pretty easily put and obsessed with mythologies. And one of my favorite mythology from Greek is about Hades and Persephone. I'm sorry if you already heard about this, but for those who have not heard this from me, I'll tell you that now. So this is, there's a goddess of spring. There's a goddess in Greek mythology called Persephone. And this goddess, she is taken to the underworld for 6 months of the year. And during this time she's the spring and she goes to the underworld. So obviously on the surface, that is on the earth, there is no spring in the 6 months. And this is precisely how the Greek introduces or explains the climate change. They explain that Persephone is gone to the underworld, which is why now it's winter and there's no spring. So similarly, exactly, I found this parallel in this book. They have, in Assamese folklore and mythology, they have a concept called Bodorsila. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, the word called Bodorsila. Bodorsila, yes. So this story, I'm only going to go into one story because I don't want to spoil the fun for the other 9 stories in it. So this story basically, it personifies all the seasons, especially it gives a human person, it makes the seasons and the spirit into human forms. So this Bodorsila is basically a wind spirit, a storm that comes every year. So this is a figure from Assamese folk tradition, and this person has gone missing. So the other seasons, Spring, May, Mon, Winnie, so many other seasons are also personified into characters that are worried and concerned that this Bodorsila has gone missing. So this story is all about worrying about this disappearance and how the place, Guwahati, and the geographical locations around the Brahmaputra river and everything about the geographical region, everything surrounding fall out of rhythm because the wind or this wind spirit Bodorsila has gone missing. I would like to say more about this specific concept because it really interested me. I hope it interests you too. A female spirit named Bodorsila, a nature a native Assamese word. She lives with her husband in a land far away, but she visits her parents' home in Assam during the festival of Bohag Bihu in April. So this is how the Assamese fictionalize the heavy pre-monsoon in the state. So this is the connection that I found between the Greek mythology about how Greeks explained the season change and how this was there. And I was thoroughly astonished that I did not know about this. And me being very prideful about knowing a lot about mythology and being interested, I was shocked that I never learned about this. And that is from that angle I started reading the book. And from that point on, I realized there are bigger themes in the book, in all the stories. There are themes about freedom, identity, alienation. It's like a set of part of literature that's been hidden away from me, from others who are not sure. But for me, this is the first time I've read something about the Northeast, and I wondered why I haven't read it before. So it was that wonderful. And then, about the title. So the title is very curious. It's actually one of the stories in the book. So the book contains 10 short stories, as I previously said. And one of the stories has this title, Forest That Ate People. So after seeing that, like I said, I thought it was a horror story. But it's like, the title is a hint. It's like the book itself is winking at you mysteriously and saying, come, I won't bite. Mostly. There are no flies there. So, and about the stories themselves, each of the stories have such a simple language and very easily flowing narrative in them. I could easily just breeze through them. It was very easy, simple read. But despite the humor and warmth in it, there was still melancholy underneath. So in the themes and the concept, you feel it. But the way the writer has written this, their writing style, through that, it's still easy for you to just go past, read everything. There are darker stories, as well as there are comedic stories, and there are variety for you to choose from. So, I'm not done with the Bodhisala part yet. Yeah, so since I've just chosen just one story to focus on, I'll take the liberty to say more about it. So in Assamese folklore, this winged spirit called Bodhisala is, she arrives every spring basically. She brings storms and blossoms together. But in Harsita's story, which is in this story of the authors, Bodhisala simply doesn't show up on here. So she's gone missing. Maybe she took a vacation, or maybe she got tired. Maybe she just wanted to see the world. The result? The people panic. The flowers don't bloom. The rhythm of the land is disturbed. It's a beautiful metaphor for how deeply human lives are tied to nature's mood swings and how fragile our sense of order is. We forget and we focus on the story instead. But the underlying themes basically, you focus on the global warming part, the geological part, about how seasons are changing. We have so many seasonal climate change and global warming and things that deserves our attention. So she has brought in all these concepts in this small story that you basically only realize that later, the message you take. But the storytelling part is great. I think I will stop with the story and let you enjoy reading the other stories. So apart from that, I would like to thank Her Stories, I would like to thank the Antonym Collection and everyone here for being here today. And yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rona. I think this book is going to be a trip to Assam. Let's get planned.